Irreligion. So those who are not religious have continued to grow in numbers the recent decades, recent centuries, and in fact about 1 out of 5 people in the world today are not religious. So if we look at a world map showing how religious and not religious different areas of the world are, you'll notice that the least religious parts of the world are Australia, Western Europe, Canada, and Eastern Asia, so Japan, South Korea, and China. Now, if we look at it in even more detail, this is a Gallup poll that asked people if they were not religious, and you'll notice again a pattern here of many Western European countries. You'll notice places like Norway, Denmark, Sweden, more than 3/4 of those countries are not religious. Now, if we look at the least religious countries, again the same poll by Gallup, you'll notice a pattern again here where there's a lot of countries from Africa, whether it be Burundi, Sierra Leone, Comoros. There's also Indonesia in there, that's an Asian country, a very Muslim nation. And yes, so overall the big pattern here is a very, very high percentage of African countries tend to be not religious. So let's talk about a few terms now. So the first term is actually technically not an irreligion, it's a deism or deist. So deist believes that God started the earth, but once God started the earth, God just let earth run its course and no longer intervened. So a common metaphor used is the clockmaker. So the clockmaker helps build the clock. Once the clock is made, the clockmaker just lets the clock tick, 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 and does not intervene with the clock itself. Famous deists from history include Benjamin Franklin, John Locke, Da Vinci, Napoleon, all very famous deists. So they believe God started the earth, but that's it. Moving on to agnostics, those are people who believe in neither the confirmation or denial of God existing. So they say, yes, God might exist, maybe not, but they're not going to subscribe to a specific organized religion. Famous people include Einstein, Charles Darwin, and Bill Gates. Atheists. So atheists do outright reject the idea that God exists and believe that the best way to understand the world around us should be through reasoning and logic. And famous atheists include Richard Dawkins, George Clooney, Stephen Hawking. And among the atheist community, there is a slight divide, though, and that's between weak atheism and strong atheism. So weak atheists believe that God does not exist, but they don't really find religion to be evil. Whereas strong atheists also do not believe in God, but instead believe that people who do follow organized religion are foolish and are damaging society. And they find organized religion to be the source of various violence and misguided guidance and misinformation around the world. Now, secular humanism is a type of irreligion where the philosophy embraces that human reason and logic and ethics is what should guide human beings and not organized religion or God. So just some final thoughts about religion. So what are the positives and negatives? Well, a few of the positives include things like it creates community with a common goal. Religion can help answer big questions like what is the meaning of life? It can provide a guideline or a set of rules for people. So for example, you have Muslims with Sharia law. You have Mormons follow, for example, a code of living a non-addictive lifestyle. So that's why you don't find Mormons smoking or drinking alcohol, because they find those to be addictive substances. At the same time, there have been many negatives from religion. Different religions can create conflict with each other. Religions can create prejudice towards certain groups. So for example, certain religions do not get along with certain other religions. And this is a big one. Religion can spread misinformation. So this has been a big issue in the United States in recent years, where in biology class, specifically, misinformation has been spread because of people's religious dogma. And finally, religion promotes tribalism. So there's sort of this us versus them concept. So because someone is part of one religion, they might say, well, because I'm part of this religion, I'm not going to marry anyone outside of this religion. So there's sort of this tribalism that religion can create. So we'll finish off with a world map. You can see various different colors, different religions around the world. Even amongst certain countries, you'll see big variety. South Korea, for example, has a lot of variety. Vietnam has a lot of variety. You'll notice Hinduism is kind of deceptive because it is over 10%, but that's mostly because there's a lot of Hindus in India, and India is a huge country with over 1 billion people. You'll notice most Muslim countries tend to be in the Middle East. Christian countries tend to be in the Americas or Western Europe. So yeah, it's a very interesting graph we have here. And that just about concludes these slides. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright 1976. Have an excellent day. Goodbye.